Kristy Curry and I first met when she was an assistant coach at Stephen F. Austin State University in Nacogdoches, Texas. And I was an assistant commissioner for compliance in the Southland Conference in charge of administering the NCAA coaches recruiting test. And she was the one assistant coach as staffs were changing left. And we ended up in that moment, never imagining we'd be in places like this today. And Kristy begins her 13th year as the head coach at Alabama, her 27th year overall as a head coach. She is the second longest tenured head coach in the SEC. Kristy's the only active women's basketball coach to have 130 plus Division I wins across 3 different schools. The Crimson Tide has had 5 players selected in the NBA draft in the last 5 years, including Sarah Ashley Barker, Aaliyah Nye, and Zay Green, all drafted back in April. Kristy's led Alabama to the NCAA tournament 4 out of the last 5 seasons after ending a 22-year drought in 2021. Kristy's family includes her husband and assistant coach Kelly and their 2 daughters, Kelsey, who's a Bama grad, and Kendall, who is currently in her senior year at Alabama. Welcome to the stage, Kristy Curry.
Commissioner Sankey, when I was at Stephen F. Austin, used to come through and administer our coaches exam because he was in compliance. So that was my first interaction with him, and he'll tell you that I never missed a question on the compliance exam. So I really appreciate him and all that he's meant to my career, and it's been fun. I don't think we both probably thought we would be standing here today, but we're really blessed. You know, we lost 67% of our scoring, 41% of our rebounding, and 61% of our assists on a top 25 offense and defense a year ago. But I'm so excited about what this team can become. Top 20 recruiting class, 4 freshmen, 3 transfers, 8 returnees. 3 of those that did not play a year ago due to injury are back. And we are really excited about the potential and what this team can become. So excited to be here again, blessed to be at Alabama now my 13th season, and I'm truly excited again about what this team can become. We have a chance to kick our season off Thursday in Boutwell, which is going to be an amazing event in that arena against the Florida State team, who is also traditionally a tournament team at noon. So we are going to be thrown into the fire very quickly, and excited because I think that will give us an opportunity to gauge where we're at and continue to move forward before we open the season officially.
Thank you, Coach Curry. We'll take questions. We'll go over here on the left-hand side.
Hey, Coach Curry. AP
Good to
Stidham.
see you, AP.
Good to see you, Coach. AP Stidham, AP as we see it. Coach, how has that WNBA draftees, how has that changed your recruiting?
Well, I think it's impacted our recruiting. I think the one thing about that is that we are a player development program at Alabama. And I think you see players traditionally in our program continue to get better. And when they buy in to our positionless basketball and how we play and how we develop, if you're willing to put the work in, we can definitely help you to accomplish those dreams. We had 5 seniors, all 5 are playing professionally. It's incredible. And 3 of those 5 left with 2 degrees. One's working on their MBA, and one got their undergrad. So, you know, we're 5 for 5. Number 1 academically, secondly, playing professionally. You know, it's amazing to see what S.A. and Aaliyah were able to do in the W as rookie. It's really hard to make a roster. Aaliyah had the chance to win a WNBA championship with the Aces. S.A. had a phenomenal rookie season. Zay Green is currently overseas in Lithuania. Gianna Cunningham's in Montenegro. And C.B. Azuma is in Spain. So it's incredible. If you come to Alabama, you believe we can win at a really high level and also prepare you for the next level.
Coach, we'll go straight in front of me about 5 rows back.
Hi, Coach. Elijah Burks, Alabama. You know, obviously you brought in 3 new transfers this past offseason in Tamia, Alancia, and Wyada. How have they looked so far since coming to campus, and what role do you expect them to have this season?
Well, I think we all expect them to play an impact role. You know, they're all 3 very experienced. They bring some versatility, some energy. You know, all 3 are really different. You know, Wyada had a chance to play at Baylor. Was really a good player for them. And I think she brings a maturity and an experience. Having her journey has been a little different. She's from New Zealand. She's a lot of fun to be around. So she's added a lot of personality to our team. You look at Alancia Ramsey, who is your prototype. When she walks in the room, you're like, wow, what an athlete, and the impact that she can have with, I mentioned the rebounding loss. Man, she is incredible on the offensive glass and on the defensive glass. And felt like from last season, even with that team, that was an area we had to improve in recruiting. And then Tamia Scott probably was preseason Conference USA Player of the Year going into this season. She brings, a replacement to the scoring that we lost. I think she does a really, really good job. She's a 3-level scorer, her 3, and then her ability to get to the rim. We need to shoot more free throws. We need to rebound the ball better, so I think she brings both of those. So I'm excited about all 3, our freshman class as well.
Okay, we'll go right here in the center aisle. Microphone coming.
Hey, Coach. Wilton Jackson with the non-basketball. With 8 returners and 7 newcomers, how are you balancing continuity with change?
It's competitive. I love it. Every single day, I think, the way that you improve and the way that you get better as a player, how we can put them in a position each and every single day to compete against one another. Playing time is earned and nothing is given. And, it's hard. It's hard right now, so it's competitive. And the SEC is competitive. So our practices have been some of the most competitive we've had because I feel like this is, especially in the post, is one of our deepest teams. At the forward and post spot, it's really special to watch. I think you'll see us be more inside than we've probably been in a couple of years. We obviously love to shoot the first open shot, and we will. But I also feel like we have a great post presence and the best group we've had there. So it's very competitive right now. And I think competition helps you elevate as a person every single day and as a player. So we're excited about that.
Coach, we'll go to our left or in the back.
Julian Mitchell with over here, sorry. With WVTM 13 in Birmingham. Coach, you opened with what you lost production-wise, but think of the leaders as well. I'm wondering, especially with the 3 you brought here, how they stepped up in that leadership role and really how you're seeing this team come together at this point.
We have a saying that culture never graduates. It never graduates at Alabama. And what we've been able to establish, Carly is the epitome of everything you should be about. I don't think there's very many players that have been to 3 straight NCAA tournaments, became a starter, and then is also graduating with a nursing degree in May from the Capstone Schools of Nursing. It's incredible. So she's amazing to watch every day as a leader because she sets a great example. She's extremely vocal. She's never made a B, so she's a lot smarter than I am. So that helps our program. And then you look at Essence Cody. What an impact player, and her presence in the paint, her versatility. She's ready to break out. I thought she had a phenomenal, SEC season last year, and we're excited about the presence and the versatility and how she's really grown her game. And then you look at Jessica Timmons. Jess practiced with us a lot in January and February. To have the opportunity for our perimeter and our backcourt to go against her every day, we didn't see much better in SEC play. She is an impact, strong, physical, has an edge and a toughness about her. So I think all 3 in their own way, just continue the tradition of great leaders and great people and great work ethic and great energy, that's come before them. So I'm excited. It's their turn. That's the joy of coaching. Yes, we lost a lot, but that's part of it. And, I love this team. I love our leadership. I love who we can become because I think we'll be a lot different team in January than we are right now. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch their evolution as leaders as well as our team.
Which will go straight in front of me about 4 rows back.
Hey, Coach. Caleb Turrentine, the Bama Buzz. Obviously, taking a big step as a program also comes from having a home court advantage. What can y'all do to improve that at Coleman Coliseum or keep improving that? And how important is that to take that next step as a program?
Yeah, it's definitely important. We need to continue to get out in the community and give back and speak. I never turn down an opportunity anywhere in the entire state and anywhere across the region, to try and work and continue to grow our fan base. Our community isn't one of the largest numbers, but they do support us, and we have a phenomenal booster group. And, I think with everything going, you've seen how we've grown our attendance, and we're going to continue to work at it. So we hope that our fan base will continue to come out and support, and we're going to continue to give back and work and build relationships and never say no to any opportunity to grow that fan base.
Okay, We're going to go to the front row here to our left.
Emily Smar, Tuscaloosa News. Hey, Coach Curry, I was curious to know your scouting report for Thursday in Birmingham against Florida State and what you're expecting to see out of that team.
Well, I think this time of year it's kind of hard with scouting reports. They have 3 returnees. So, goodness, the transfer film I'm watching on trying to understand player tendencies, we know that their system and style of play isn't going to change. They love to play fast. I think they were the #1 scoring team in the country last year. So I think transition defense will be so pivotal, our ability to not give them more than one-shot opportunities. So we both love to play fast. We had an opportunity to play them 2 years ago in the NCAA tournament. And it's an amazing program, what they've done and how they've built that. And I think we're on the same trajectory. And, we play similar, so it'll be a fun day for us because it'll challenge us. I think it's a time of year where, seeing a different jersey beside our own players and our practice players, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're thrilled for the support of Hibbett and Nike, the entire, just to have a women's game along with the men and to continue to grow. We talked earlier about how do we continue to grow our fan base, the opportunity for us to be in Birmingham, be a part of this event, and to continue to grow girls basketball across the state. I feel like that's part of our responsibility, and we're excited for Thursday in so many regards.
Over on the left aisle, second row, Drew.
Drew DeArmond, WZZN Radio, Huntsville, Alabama. Coach, I wanted to ask you about that freshman class. It's probably as talented as one that you've signed in a long time. Talk about Ace Austin and the impact she could have at point guard, and then the size you signed.
Yeah, Ace, you got to love that name. That sounds like a point guard. So Ace Austin, a name to remember, and she brings so much to our program. She is a dynamic, energetic, really can do a lot of things with the basketball in her hands. I think she's going to have a phenomenal career and impact for us early. She was out with an ankle injury. I think this is 6 practices back, so it's great to have her healthy. I thought she had one of her best days yesterday. She really gets it. She looks to make everyone around her better. Multiple state championships. Just a phenomenal. She's a winner. I think that's going to be a really, really great addition to our backcourt with Diana Collins and Jessica Timmons and Carly Weathers. And I could sit here and go on because I truly do believe right now it's extremely competitive with all 15. And then you look at Lourdes da Silva that played at Montverde Academy, won a national championship, was on the Swedish national team this summer. She's a versatile 6'2" forward. One of the best high school players I've ever seen as far as a motor. She plays and goes so hard, and I think she will be the next great forward at Alabama and a line of some really good ones like a Sarah Ashley Barker. And then you look at Joy Egbuna, who comes from Faith Family, who played on the national schedule as well. And I mean, she gives us more depth in the paint along with Naomi Jones and Essence Cody, and is fierce and aggressive and does a really, really good job. And then Tiana Chambers, who played on the Nike EYBL circuit, missed her senior season with an ACL, is still working her way back from that. But a 5'10" forward who's versatile and has an opportunity to be a really good player. So our freshman class with those 3 transfers, the 8 returnees, certainly give us a roster full of talent and versatility.
Okay, we have time for one last one. We'll go straight in front of me, about 5 rows back.
Hey, Coach. Fisher Isbell with the Crimson White. This program hasn't been to the Sweet 16 since 1998, but you've been to the tournament for the last 5 years. Obviously, with the loss in production, you're going to have a lot to fill, but what about this team do you think can get this program to the Sweet 16 for the first time in nearly 3 decades?
Yeah, I mean, that's a goal, is to, continue to advance the program and move it forward. And I feel like the talent on this roster, I think a lot of people were probably one of those teams that they're sleeping on a little bit, and that's when we're at our best. I think a couple years ago we were picked 9th and finished 4th, and then you look at us a year ago, a basket here or there, a stop, a loose ball, we're right where we want to be. So I think we continue to move the program forward. We understand no one expects more of that than I do. So we're working and building and continuing to get better, and that's the goal, right? Continue to go beyond the Sweet 16. I've been to a Final Four. I've been to multiple Sweet 16s. I understand what that's about, and I think it all starts with high character and recruiting, and we've done that, and we'll continue to work toward that.
Coach Curry, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you all. Roll Tide.